In preparation for a trip to the Maldives, we all had to learn to scuba dive. Some of us already had our basic certificates, so we got the chance to earn the next certificate, like rescue diving, nitrox diving, and photography. In the process of getting our certificate, we had to go to the local pool to train. We learned to put together diving equipment, perfecting our buoyancy, and rescue divers learned how to help and save unconscious and panicked divers. In the pool, we did activities such as free diving, taking equipment on and off underwater, and learning hand signals with your dive buddies.
On our trip to the Maldives, we are going to be working with the coral restoration team on the island to learn and to help the corals in the area. We learned the restoration process in class by cutting corals with a diamond saw and gluing them to stone discs before putting them back in our tank where they continue to grow. If we were to do this in the ocean, we would do this a little bit differently. We would either glue the corals directly to the reef or use coral trees, which are metal poles suspended perpendicularly in the water where corals can grow from the branches. Once those corals are fully grown, they are transported and placed in reefs so they can thrive. The method we will be using is where metal cage skeletons are made and corals are fastened to the poles to grow and then later placed in reefs. Our coral restoration trip is a project-based trip, so we did lots of research on the marine life of the area before travelling. The class was also divided into groups for projects beforehand, and we had the job of interviewing these groups about their work and expectations for the trip.
Of course, using mainly pectoral fins.
What are your expectations for the culture trip?
We expect to understand more about the awareness of the Maldives people, if the reefs are important to them, and see some corals.
I expected to experience a real coral reef and some new culture that I haven't experienced before.
I just want to have fun with my friends.
What is your project about?
Our project is about the locals' awareness of the fact that their reefs are disappearing and maybe to use coral-friendly sunscreen, and we're gonna find out whether or not they're aware by interviewing them.
What preparations have you been doing before the culture trip?
We've been diving and done a bunch of diving theory to attain some diving licenses.
We began preparing for travel by collecting our last pieces of diving equipment, and excitement was rising. But sometimes, not everything goes according to plan.
South Africa. But you are going to Africa, and you're going to a lovely island called Zanzibar, which is just off the coast of mainland Africa, that you're going to be flying from Copenhagen to Paris, and then Paris directly to Zanzibar. But on the way home, you're going to take the boat over to the mainland. So you're actually going to get a day in Dar es Salaam. It will mean that we're going to move the travel. So you'll be leaving on Sunday night from here. You'll fly late in the evening on the 21st and move back on the 22nd. So we're just moving everything 2 days. That is the plan. Okay, the flights are booked. The ones to the Maldives are cancelled. It was impossible to get you there. We've tried for 24 hours. We can't. This is probably one of the craziest things we've ever done.
So we're not going to Maldives. Instead, we've been told that we're going to Zanzibar. So it's a little bit different. We're not going to be doing
Coral restoration.
that much coral restoration.
Yeah, because there's no coral reefs. It's disappointing, but it's also understandable. So we're grateful that we get to go on a trip.
Our teachers are amazing for fixing it.
It's gonna be a new experience because nobody's been there yet.
Now it's a real adventure.
Yeah.
On our first day in Zanzibar, we walked from our hotels along the beach to the Badi Diving Center. For a lot of us, it was our first time diving, so everyone was very excited and eager to get into the water. Only a short boat ride away, and we were finally able to get started.
We got to see the marine life on the ocean floor as well as the corals in the area. With learning about the culture of Zanzibar, we were brought to a spice farm to learn how a lot of the world's spices were made.
Jozani guys. Okay, my dear guys, welcome again. Jozani Choka Bay National Park. Welcome again to work on the biggest forest in Zanzibar.
So cute. This is old corals from the Indian Ocean, right?
In that time, we also got to visit a group of monkeys in the forest, while also getting the opportunity to see some local street stalls.
The inside is a plant that has to always move on the trees. Now, vanilla is a vine also. Very good. Hello!
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana.
We continued to dive the next day at a new location where we studied the reef and took reef surveys. Reef surveys help us because we can use the data we collect as a tool to learn about the amount of marine life in the area and about the coral's health.
The next day, the weather was horrible, so in the morning we worked on our projects before heading to the local Danish high school.
And then we have like either hovedfag or linjefag.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana.
This school is where Danish young adults can come and study for a term to learn about the culture of Zanzibar. We got the privilege of getting taught some Swahili.
It was amazing to explore every day and to see so many amazing sea animals and plants. We saw everything from clownfish, moray eels, parrotfish, squids, and even Napoleon wrasse. We even got so lucky that we got to see some wild dolphins and we had the chance to swim with them. On one of our last days, our teachers got us the opportunity to visit a turtle sanctuary. That's a place where they take care of turtles, they rescue turtles, and they raise baby turtles.
Here we have a 12 years old turtle shell. The reason why we discourage people from lifting the turtle out of the water.
Here you can see the shell of a 12-year-old turtle. We also got the opportunity to swim with the turtles.
We then had another travel day where we took buses to the capital of Zanzibar, Stone Town.
There is a lot, most of the place is called Serena Hotel. And that one is
There was an obvious difference in the everyday life in Stone Town, and we got a city tour to explore further, getting to see markets, the streets, the locals, and the locals preparing for their holiday, Ramadan.
Okay, what have we been doing the last couple hours? Night!
Taking a ferry and traveling.
How was this experience traveling from Zanzibar to Tanzania?
There was a lot of stress, but I think it was okay.
So a big thing that I will remember about Zanzibar's culture is the way that they feel it's very important to greet everybody that they meet and ask them how they are, and they think that it's rude if you don't answer back.
My highlights are playing beach with the class and with the high school, and seeing a bunch of hermit crabs and small marine life while diving.
So what I remember about this trip is the culture around the Danish high school we went to. We visited this high school with 50-something Danish students who took a trip down here. It's going to be here 4 months and learning about the culture, learning Swahili, learning how it is to be down here, which I found very nice.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to see how big of a difference there's in Denmark and Zanzibar and also Tanzania. It's very clear from poor to rich. It's a very, very large gap. When we were in Zanzibar, all of the streets were with dirt and holes in the streets, yeah. And it was just outrageous to see the gap from Zanzibar to Tanzania.
Yeah.
It's over here, there's like large buildings, skyscrapers. Over there, you can almost looks like a shed with holes in them where they sleep multiple people. And the people over there are so much nicer, I think, also, and they're more open, much more open to having a conversation about some random stuff. And I think it's amazing.
So we went to Zanzibar. We stayed in the southern part for a few days. We've seen mainland, we've seen all over Zanzibar. Went diving, went to the forest, went into a spice farm, and we went up to the northern part of the island. Did some more diving, visited a turtle sanctuary. Some of the wildlife and the diversity of the nature that we've seen. We've been snorkeling with dolphins. We've been seeing sea turtles.
My favorite moments is swimming with dolphins.
Had some reef surveys on the local beach. Then we went to Stone Town, where we had a city tour. And then we took the ferry to Dar es Salaam, where we went and visited the National Museum. It was okay. And now we have our last day where we have to get ready to travel back to Denmark.
So we've seen many, I feel, interesting things, both nature and culture. So met a lot of people in different situations.
My highlight was probably lots of the different dives and the different things we could see and the different activities we did while diving.
I think what I'm going to remember the most is probably the way people on the street would just come up to you and try to sell you stuff and just not leave you alone. You couldn't just walk on the street by yourself without being called from the other side of it. But it was also like an interesting experience because it's not something you'll ever see. You won't find people who do this in Denmark or in Europe in general. So I think it was interesting.
My favorite moment in our trip was just having dinner every night with everyone. It was very fun.